Welcome to my League tutorials. Today I'm going to talk about the meta. I was asked why is it important for AD carry and support to go bottom, AP carry to go mid, and tanky top laner or someone who can deal a lot of damage to go top. Well, there's this thing called a meta. What a meta is? A meta is the most optimal current way of playing the game that is currently out. The most optimal way to have your team composition is to have an AD carry and support lane. It could be bot or top, but generally you don't see top support AD support lanes unless you're in competitive play. So I was asked to explain why. It's because it's the number one reason is because it's the most optimal way to play. It has been after seasons and seasons of times going by. It's best for AD carry and support to be together, AP carry to be mid lane, unless you're playing someone like Kha'Zix or Jace or Zed. Those are three people who are AD heavy, who can play top lane or mid lane, and some can even jungle. I was also what was explained is why does it matter because the map is exactly the same bottom as it is top? Now that's not true. There are little things that a lot of people don't know about, the Summoner's Rift map. On purple side, which is these guys, this from the middle to their tower is actually a little bit longer than it is to come back. It's a little bit longer. It takes a small amount more of time for them to go back to their tower than it is to go here to back to your tower. The reason is how the map is made. It's not made optimally. There's going to be map changes, I heard, that are going to be coming up to, I guess, fix how the map is, or maybe change certain placements of jungle things for Season 4, because Season 4 comes out in about September, end of December. It's usually around where it came. That's where it came out last year. The reason why you want AD carry support bot, the reason why it's so good is because when you come and you take bottom tower, you take your bottom tower, or you're in the middle of laning but you've pushed them out of lane and you're not strong enough to take their tower in time. If your jungler came with you and ganked and you got them out of lane but you didn't kill any of them, dragon is up, you're around level 7. If a top laner was down here and you went after dragon, you would only have 2 people. That is if your mid lane is probably busy. You're only going to have 2 people, and that's not going to be enough to take down dragon. You might be able to take down dragon, but the how fast you take it down is going to be considerably slower. It's going to be slow enough to the point you guys are going to be taking too much damage and you have to leave, or you guys are going to be really low. You kill the dragon maybe, and then the other team realizes you're at dragon and comes and cleans up and kills both of you. Now one guy got 600 gold, or maybe even 700 gold off of your kills, while your team might have got more gold overall. Bottom lane, say if the enemy team's bottom lane came and killed them, now they have a significant advantage over your lane, and they will harass you and take your tower, and eventually lead to them winning overall because one person was able to take a tower, or maybe even 2 towers, and kill you while getting more fed, maybe roaming to dragon when their jungler comes and they can get dragon easily because they do more damage. You gotta remember there's certain things, because dragon's down here, so when you have AD carry and support and your jungler comes, it's a lot easier to get kills that way. A lot easier to kill the dragon if you have 3 people instead of 2 people, or 4 people instead of 2, because if your mid laner can come down, then that even cleans up dragon even faster. The amount it increases exponentially. Why do you want your top laner top, or a tanky top laner top, or a tank, not a tanky top laner, a tanky champion top, or someone who can deal a lot of damage and has a relatively strong kit? Is because you two can carry the game pretty hard if you're very good at playing top. If you're really tanky, you own your lane, You take these top towers. Generally, top is not a lane that is focused on the most. Most people want to finish bot lane and mid lane, because if they have no mid carry and their bot lane is crushed, then your top lane is not going to be able to carry it because 3 other of their teammates are really far behind. Now, there's always a chance that top lane did so well that he roamed and helped the mid lane or helped the bot lane if he had TP, or if he roamed all the way down there. But generally, the reason why they have up here is because you two are going to go at it the most. And if you can carry the game, if you can win your lane up here 1v1, you can come mid lane and help mid lane out and take mid tower. The meta, it's something that's been optimally done. There's so many people like, oh, you're going against the meta, you suck, I'm reporting you, you're disobeying the meta, and people just don't understand. Especially new players. Meta isn't something that comes up and you understand what it is. For a lot of people, League of Legends is their first MOBA, which I forget exactly what it stands for, but it's their first type of game, like Dota, Dota 2, Han. That is what it is. This is their first MOBA for people, and they don't know what meta means, and they don't know that they're supposed to do certain things, or certain people are supposed to be together with certain people, or certain AD carry and support is supposed to be bottom. Mid laner is supposed AP carry, or 3 of certain mid laners can come and go mid, and they don't know what to bring top. People don't know this. And so when people come in and they're like, you're just obeying meta, no, AD carry and support's going bottom, you're stupid, why are you going Ezreal mid, why are you going AD mid, why are you going AD carry mid, why are you going tanky mid, why are you, AD carry and, tanky guy up top, what are you doing, you're dumb, you're dumb, you're dumb. That's what you're going to hear a lot when you join this game. Because a lot of people just don't know the meta. They don't. And it's not something bad, it's just something general people don't know. It's not something you sit around and you think about, the meta, let me make sure I do that right. It's not something typically someone does. Like I said, the reason they should go in these areas is because it's the most optimal way to play. For example, I'll give you an example against another team. If you didn't obey the meta, or you didn't go some way, like you can go double bruiser bottom. But if the other team went AD carry and support, and they're not getting crushed by your double bruiser comp, and they're surviving, what's the chances that double bruisers, one of them got exhaust? Most of the time, unless you're in high elo, if you have 2 people bot, you're not gonna get an exhaust. An exhaust is like incredibly useful, especially against an AD carry. You come in and you exhaust them, you cut their attack speed by 60%, and their movement speed by 50, if I recall correctly. It's somewhere around there. Maybe it's 50% and 25. I can't remember what exhaust is exactly. All I know is that it's extremely helpful. So if you don't have a support and you don't get exhaust, and the other team does have a support, like say you go Thresh but you don't play support Thresh, and you're just getting 80 items, you're taking CS from your AD carry, is making your AD carry weak because your AD carry needs CS, because there's a reason for someone to be called a carry. What a carry means is someone is really weak early game. Maybe not very weak, but they're not strong. They can't play against any lane because they are generally squishy. They don't have a lot of HP. Twitch, for example, who I'm playing right now, at level 5 has less than 900 HP, which isn't really too bad. But it's not a lot. By level 5, some people can have a little over 1,000, which is much better. And people are going to come in, they have kits that can slow me and take me down, and I can't use my abilities because I got to run away. Because if I stand there and I auto-attack them, I don't do enough damage, I don't have lifesteal to stay alive against them, and they'll kill me because they have more health. So if you go somewhere and you don't have a support, say, like I said, if you don't have a Thresh support, you make your AD carry weak, and your AD carry can't carry the game. That's what AD carry is for. If your AD carry does really bad, he can't carry the game. He's behind. He doesn't do enough damage. He gets focused and he dies because he hasn't got enough gold to buy his defensive item yet. He doesn't do enough damage. He isn't fast enough. He doesn't have GA to come back to life, and you lose because the support took all of your of your CS, or you don't have a support and you have someone else who went bottom who took all of your CS. Now CS is creep score. It's the amount of minions you've last hitted. So if you don't know what CS is, it's creep score. It's the amount of minions that you have landed the last hit on. So it's right now, if my CSing wasn't so bad, I could land, you know, I got a CS. Whoop-de-doo. That was really bad. Took way longer than it really should have. But I got a CS. I got another CS. I got 16 gold from killing them. Sometimes you get 20. Sometimes you get, 30 or 40 gold off killing a big minion. It's really all situational. Like I could throw expunge on him. And I get 43 gold. I'm using my abilities on them to put stacks on him, and then use the stacks to do more damage. And then, why would you have your mid laner? The mid laner have an AP carry. You want someone who generally, if they get fed, they carry more, they do better. And for me, that is an AP carry, because you're generally not going to have ability power in your top laner unless you're playing someone like Elias or Kennen, and that's usually the AP carry ends up mid lane, because top lane they're too squishy to play against a tanky top laner because they won't do well, unless you're a champion who does percentage based damage like Elias can do very well against tanky tops, because her damage, it doesn't matter how much health they have, her damage is percentage based. It's the current optimal way to play. And a lot of people aren't going to like this. Like, why do I have to play a certain way? Why can't I play my way? It's how MOBAs are. A lot of people come in, they don't know how MOBAs are, and it really is, if you don't play a certain way of the meta, or if you don't find a way that you can get around the meta that actually works very well. There are ways to change the meta. If you found something that works really well, let your team know. Maybe they'll let you do it, but oftentimes they'll be like, no, you're stupid, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what happens a lot, and it's very annoying. Now, if you're not in ranked, if you're not level 30, it's not really a big deal. You can play however you want. You can play double bruiser bot. You can play 280 carries bot. You can play 80 carry top, tanky top. Whatever you want. You can play 80 carry mid. It doesn't matter if you're not trying to play competitively. If you're trying to play competitively, if you want to go and play ranked, if you do and disobey the meta, you can severely put your team at a disadvantage, because they're playing the optimal way while you're not. So you're missing certain key components that would normally let you play very, very well, and because they're not there, and because you disobeyed the meta and they didn't, you could lose, because they have the advantage over here. That's basically what the meta is. The meta is the optimal way to play, and if you disobey it, you can put your team at a disadvantage, which could cause you to lose more. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next tutorial.